Hello, hello, everybody. Decided to do a surprise live stream. I've never done one of these before, but I thought it'd be fun to try something new. Um, because I'm not doing anything this evening, and I have a bunch of stuff sitting next to me that I figured I'd give away since I have no use for it. So let's see how many people we can get in here. So the plan is, I am not going to give anything away if we don't have 20 people entering the contest, um, because I want it to be worth it. The other thing is, I am also going to give away an ICP test. So, so three things you're going to be getting with this contest. I got the Polyp booster right here. And I got the ICP test and the Versa. I don't have with me, but I have a Versa as well that I'm going to be giving away. So I don't have a topic really. I just figured I'd hang out and see if you guys have any questions. And let's see if we can get 20 people in here. If we can get 20 people in here, then we can do this contest and give away something. But I thought it'd be fun. All right, let's see. Who do we got in here? We got Mr. Rogue. Hello. We got Mr. Myers Reef. What's up, man? We got Producer Reef. We got Jessica J. Awesome. Thanks for coming, everybody. So I'm going to type in the chat here what we're giving away. So we're giving away an ATI ICP test right here. I got one right here. We're giving a 100 milliliter Polyp booster and a Versa. So the just like usual, you have to say something in chat. You have to say I love Reef Automation, and you got to ask me a question, and that will be the way to enter into the contest. But like I said, we got to get 20 people in here, so that's gonna be the tricky part. So invite your friends, invite whoever you know that's into reefing, and we will get this out to you people. It's not going to be long. I'm probably not going to spend all night here, so probably like 30 minutes or so. But yeah, so let's see. Anybody have any questions? Let's see. I should drop my lights down a bit. So I have Generation 4 lights, Radions, and mine are about 12 inches, and I set them to 30%. I also have T5s though as supplementation. I think 10 inches is the kind of the norm for most lights. So that would be my opinion on that. All right, so let's see who we got in here. Wasn't really prepared, as probably you guys weren't, so I'm gonna type all your names in and let's see. We got Eric, and we got Jessica. We got Producer Reef. We got Aaron. We got Jason Bowen. Welcome, Jason. I've never seen you in one of my Reef or my live chats, so it's nice to see you. We got PR Fish Girl. We got, let's see, Mr. Myers Reef. Hasn't said the magic word, so you're not going to be in the contest till you say it. There are 20, let's see, 20 inches plus or minus 6 radion on my tank. Let's see, simple question going old school. What is the difference between the different Apex models? That's a good question, actually. Hey, Arthur, it's nice to see you, buddy. Arthur, for those that don't know, has really helped me with my ACR that the aquarium engineering ACR that I was having some issues with. I don't know who's been following me, but unfortunately, I had a lot of issues with it, and it all seems to be either caused by me pushing too much pressure into it, or a bad controller from the start. But either way, Bill came through and gave me a new controller. I've had it running for since about noon today, so it's about 6 hours, and it's working great. So I am pretty happy with it now. It's working fantastic. So let's give it a couple days to go through its cycles, and um, I'm really happy with it. Just took me a long time to kind of get the parts that I needed to get this thing to work, unfortunately. Um, so that was trying, but I did get everything I needed, so that was good. All right, let's see. What do we got here? I don't know who this guy is. Uh, so I actually, I added a solenoid to my calcium reactor. I got an Apex solenoid on my calcium reactor now, so that way it doesn't backfeed uh, my to my sump. So it's working really well. Um, I mean, a leak detector is always good. I don't know what kind of safety measures you would need for an auto top off. Maybe an optical sensor at the top to see if the solenoid was to fail, then and it would alert you if if it gets too high. I guess that would be a good safety measure. So so yeah, we got let's see, who did I add? I got Arthur added. I got Mr. Corwin has been added. So we got 8 people. So we need 12 more, guys. 12 more people need to come in. So that's the hard part. It's a surprise live stream. I mean, I'll show you guys some stuff too. I didn't really have any topics planned. I just wanted to say hello, and I'm not doing anything this evening, so I thought this would be fun. I am still doing one on Saturday morning though, my normal live stream, and I do have some stuff planned to show you guys. So let's see. Let me switch us over to my computer so we can see some stuff. So Aaron had a question about the different models. There's been, they had the I think they called it the Aqua controller way long ago, but no one has it anymore. I guess there's only a few people that have it. Um, but the classic brain had two versions. There was um, it was like the gold, I believe, and then there was the regular one. And the regular one, kind of like the new one, didn't have the VDM ports, didn't have the extra pH port. So it's pretty much the same thing. Then the Apex Junior, which I actually owned before, was a processor and it had the outlets built into it. So it was kind of nice to have that. Um, the we went over last live stream what the difference is between the Apex models, the EL and the regular Apex, which is the VDM port and the additional pH port. So that's really the differences between the models in terms of what they have. The biggest difference, of course, with the classic and the new ones is the processing power. So for those that do have a classic, you might be used to making changes and taking forever. So let me show you what I mean by that. So for instance, if I wanted to make a change to my RO pump here and I hit this guy, you can see how quickly this does its thing. Whereas if you have an Apex Classic, it takes a little longer. Um, the newer Apex are a lot quicker. You can do a lot more labeling. So if you're like me and you have a lot of probes, a lot of sensors, you have a limitation of how many of them you can actually label. So on the Classic, I don't remember the number. I think it was like 15 to 20 different devices that you can actually relabel. Whereas on the Apex, the newer Apexes, I mean, you could see I can label all kinds of stuff. I think it's like 40 something before it starts to give you a problem. Um, but the biggest difference between the Classic and the Apex, I think, is the fact that Fusion has the ability to pretty much do anything that you want. It has the settings. It has, for instance, your feed mode settings are right here. Your power management settings are right here. Your network settings are also in here, right here. So you can adjust all of this from Fusion, whereas in a Classic you cannot. Log into the um, you have to log into the controller directly, meaning you have to log right into the IP of it and do any of the settings and adjustments on the Classic. So that's really the biggest differences between them. Um, let's see. What is the difference between the Radeon Lights percentages? Producer Reef, I don't understand the question. The difference between the Radeon Lights percentages. Maybe you can expand on that a little bit. Yeah, PR Fish Girl. I had an Apex Junior on my 300 for many years, and it worked great. The other thing about an Apex Junior, for those that don't know, is you only can have 4 modules on it. Um, Unfortunately, that's a big limitation if you want to add, a number of things to it. Um, for those that don't know as well, the newer Apex works with tridents, whereas the Classic does not work with a trident. And probably everything going forward that Neptune's going to make is probably not going to work with any of the Classics. For obvious reasons, they want to sell more of their newer products, so makes sense to me. Um, let's see. Let's see, what else? What other questions we have? Did we see a bulk read version of Apex that was sold with the dual? Yeah, so I believe that's Eric. That was a monitor. So it was an Apex EL with a pH probe, I believe, and a temp probe. However, it was a full Apex EL for 250 bucks, and it'll do anything that the Apex EL will do, but it's strictly sold as a monitoring system. What's your grand plan for this ACR automation? Well, I don't know how to answer that question, Arthur, but I'm going to go over it on Saturday morning, calcium reactors in general, and I'm going to go over how I'm using the ACR and why the ACR in general is a better solution than a standard calcium reactor. I'm not going to really go over that tonight. That's a good question. What's up, Siraj? He won the last versus, so now he's trying to get another one. Uh, I entered you into the contest, sir. The algae barn thing. Yes, so um, if you go on BRS's website, there is someone that was complaining about algae barns. Cato, only their Cato, was presenting aptasia into people's systems. And then I read it on if you do some research online, there's a number of people that have complained about that. So I wasn't sure if that was a common thing. Um, you know, Fortunately, I have enough Cato right now that I don't need to buy any. But I was a little concerned seeing some people out there that are definitely having an issue with the Cato from Algae Barn. So I would definitely recommend anybody that's interested in buying that product to do some research, see if it's just some isolated incidents or these people just don't know what they're doing. Because apparently people are getting aptasia from it. Let's see. Notice. Have you noticed the cal showing the inverse of mag on the graph? Siraj, I don't know what that means exactly. Notice the calcium showing the inverse of mag. Let's take a look at this. I don't. So generally, I believe I know what you're saying, but generally, calcium typically will go down when alkalinity goes up, and alkalinity will go down. If alkalinity goes down, calcium will generally go up. Again, that's if you're not dosing or doing anything. I've seen that happen before at a specific point. Um, but mag generally doesn't really change. Mag usually just goes down. Let me look at mine. Yeah, I mean mine kind of stay. I see your point. There's a little bit of an inverse relationship there. A little bit. Maybe someone with more of the reefing chemistry here will chime in a little bit on how that all works. Let's see. I didn't invite Devin. He belongs to every forum and every group, so he's everywhere at all times. Um, let's see. I've used the Mobius for the Versa that I gave to Siraj, and it works really well. So I don't know. It'd be nice to have it for the Vectras that I have. Right now I'm using a ReefLink, which we're going to go over on Saturday as well. Yes, definitely like a Ninja. So like I said, this stream we're not really discussing anything specific. It's kind of like a hangout this evening. I am giving away 3 items. There was a surprise item that I didn't put on the live stream on purpose so that people would come in and see that I'm going to be giving away a ICP test. Um, so that's going to be also included in the bundle that I'm going to be sending to you. Um, I do have a Versa, basically brand new. I opened it up and changed the tubing out because the tubing was bad on the ones that I got. Um, and Siraj has one, so he can tell me if the tubing I sent him is good. It should be. Um, yeah, Corwin, the pH is doing okay, but you got to remember I've only had the ACR running for 6 hours today. Generally, my pH without the calcium reactor, you can see, gets to about 8.2, 8.1, 8.2. So I'm hoping that it will get to a stable 8.1, 8.2 today, or through the ACR. Yes, I have the best giveaways. I got tons of stuff, guys. Wait till you see the stuff I'm giving away. I'm not giving out any information, but um, I'm really trying to get more people into live streams because I really want to teach people some stuff that I know and do with reef automation. Because I get so many questions on our Facebook group, and I get so many questions from people when I see them at different events, and it's just nice to be able to just go on the computer, do a live stream, show you guys things step by step how to do them, because it's hard to explain it just over the phone or through texting or through a website or whatnot. How's it going, Brian? What's going on, Jack? Good to see you, man. So, like I was saying earlier, we got to have 20 people entered into this contest in order for me to give it away. I'm giving away 3 things, so um, I want it to be worth it for myself. How come you're giving away versus did you not like them? I would like one to hook up. Okay, so do you drip? I'll explain that in a second. Brian, the reason I'm giving away the verses is because I got them for free. um, there's a reason that I'm giving them away. I have no use for them, obviously. I have 2 doses. I have full Neptune gear. Um, I got them from Marine Depot, and I had a credit with Marine Depot, so I just was like, I'm gonna try these things out. Maybe I'll use them for, I don't know, for my nano over here. And I ended up not using them. And unfortunately, once you open the box, Rain Depot won't let you send them back. So um, that's the reason I'm giving them away. Full disclosure. Do you drip calc? I do not drip calc. I have tried all kinds of different things with calc. I had a calc stir. I had put calc in my reservoir. I am not a fan of calc in general. Um, it's very hard to tune a reactor, unfortunately, with calc. It's just, and we're going to go over that on Saturday. I don't recommend anybody that's doing a calcium reactor drip calc, but there's so many people that do it, and I don't know how they do it because I couldn't tune my calcium reactor with the fluctuation of the calc. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it. Um, how do you feel having to open more than one app for your automation? Is that what it is, or is it a slight pain? It's interesting because on Devin's video today, I was thinking about that the entire time while I was watching it. Is as a automation programmer, for those that don't know, I own and operate a home automation company. I install home theaters, I install touch panels, I install remote controls, all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, and I've been doing that for 20 years. That's what I do for a living. That's what my company is. And the one thing that I do is I program apps. I program apps to control pools, lights, security control, you name it. I program it onto an app. Now, most of my customers, we don't have a Nest Cam or a Ring Cam. Those are all proprietary on their own with one single app. And unfortunately, you have to switch apps to go to one thing or another. So what I do for a living is I actually program a single app. I do all the templates and all the graphics, and I have it so the entire home, cameras, security, pool, TV, you name it, is on one app. Um, and to be quite frank, there's a couple people I've spoke to. I also have my Neptune system hooked up to my home automation system as well. So I'm able to use one app to see everything I need to see and control from one app. And I am not one of those people that like to have multiple apps. So let's see. Why not ditch the dose and use the Versa? um, I mean, I thought about it. I thought about doing what you're doing with four verses because they're so cool. Um, but I already got the doses and they've been working, and I'm not dosing a lot. I mean, look at this. I'm dosing 50 milliliters a day, 15 and two and two. And they're in the garage. I don't hear them, but they work. There's no reason to replace them. I think they work really well. I do agree they're a little bit loud, but Eric, to your question, the ATI ICP tests, I believe, are the best ones. So I'm giving away one, and you guys, whoever wins this, you tell me how you feel about this test, because I think this is the best test out there. Um, they are not cheap. What's nice about these tests, by the way, is inside here, it comes with a shipping label. So all you do is you do the test, you put the shipping label in, and you're good to go. That appears to be the most accurate one that I've had. Let's see. Have a light hooked up under your stands at all used with Apex. Curious, Eric. I'm gonna actually go over that on Saturday. I use Samsung Smart Things for that. You can do that with Apex as well. Um, let's see. Have a buddy whose Versa sounded like it was grinding metal. Really? Yeah, Corwin, I heard that too. I heard that there was a few people with some verses that were overheating, or that the tube itself was having like burning up or something. I read that somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but I read it somewhere. So let's see. So right now let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12 people that are entered into the contest. However, you have to ask me an automation question, some of you guys. So who's ever come in late and has said, I love Reef Automation, and those have not said it, there's a couple of you, you have to ask me a question because that's part of the live stream. I want this to be more interactive. So let's see. Any other? Yes, Devin loves everything quiet. So any anything that's quiet, Devin will buy. Quieter the better. I agree. You know, his is right next to his kitchen though. So, and I'm assuming that other room there is a family room or a dining room of some sort. So I wouldn't want my tank to be noisy either. On the fence, welcome to the live stream. So guys, we're getting there. We almost got 20 people. Like I said, I think we're gonna do this. I don't know, 45 minutes maybe. I'm just kind of hanging out and answering any questions anybody has. All right, so let's see what we got. We got yeah, the verses are quiet for sure. Any way to run a tank wireless with my main tank's Apex? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, Johnny, but I think I know what you're asking. You're asking, can you connect devices from another tank to your main tank? Is what I believe you're asking, and you cannot. I tried all kinds of different ways to do this, but it ended up being so much easier for me just to buy a 120-foot USB cable and run it to my other tank. Um, I don't know how good you are with running wires and attics and so forth, but again, that's what I do for a living. I found it very easy to do that. So um, I would just recommend running a USB cable. I think Devin did that as well. What calcium do you have? And I'm assuming it's being controlled by Larry. I'm actually gonna go over that Saturday. That's gonna be my topic Saturday morning. I have a aquarium engineering ACR is what it's called, and it's not really being controlled by my Apex. It's all its own system. And again, I'll go over that on Saturday, but I appreciate the question. Would it be worth to use 4 of the verses on my tank or go with a calcium reactor? Um, you know, again, that's going to be another thing I'm going to talk about on Saturday, but I am not a fan of dosers. I've never really been a fan of dosers. Um, Give me one moment. My dog's going crazy. I'm going to let her in here. Um, I'm not a fan of dosers. I never have been a fan of dosers. There's many reasons why I'm not a fan of dosers. Um, so I like calcium reactors myself. Uh, Parameters are looking better than before we chatted. What, I'm not sure what you're looking at, but um, yeah, it's staying at about 8.02, which I guess is good for 7 o'clock at night. Um, the trick's going to be to see what happens this evening. And my Trident is pretty stable right now, so that's good. Let's see, what's the best Apex setup for a noob? I think someone asked that question too. Yeah, Jason asked for a new reefer. Do you suggest? Um, So I think the Apex EL is a really good product. My suggestion for a new reefer would be to get the Apex EL. Just note that it doesn't have salinity, which I think is a very important parameter. Um, so you would have to get an extra box. Um, that's really the only thing that I don't like about the Apex EL is that it doesn't have that ability. So I do believe the EL would be a perfect solution for a new reefer or any reefer for that matter. But just note that you don't get the salinity that the Apex gives you. Uh, so let's see. Can't run USB in a two-story on tank with the first floor. Yeah, I know. What's the best Apex setup? Okay, I already had a USB first. Yeah, so they have Aaron, they also have something called a Ethernet to USB adapter. So on newer homes, most of the newer homes nowadays have Cat 5 or Ethernet going to the rooms. So you could actually use a USB to Cat 5 adapter if you wanted to extend USB, and they do work. I've tested them here at my house with Apex. Um, yes, I know you like dosers. I think dosers are good for certain tanks. If you're doing a full-blown reef though, you got to have a calcium reactor. There, most of the time, if you look at the longevity of a calcium reactor and the amount of money you're saving over dosers, it's a no-brainer. I know you use dosers, but I just don't see the point of having to refill containers on a consistent basis, especially if you have a lot of stuff in your tank. Calcium reactor, you literally plug it in and you don't touch it ever again. I mean, that's literally what happens with most people's calcium reactors. Just a couple tweaks here and there, but really that's all you do. You plug it in. Um, let's see. I bought a Milwaukee and test twice a day. I don't really need a salinity. Yeah, if you're testing all the time, Jason, then you really don't need salinity. Um, for me, it's very important. I have a lot of stuff going on, and there's a potential that my ATO could fail. There's a potential that a number of things could fail, and my salinity will just go down all of a sudden. So for me, I think it's important to have it on the apex. But again, if you're testing all the time, that's not a big deal. Um, let's see. I have so many miles, it was easier to get an EL. That's true. I mean, yeah, you could get an EL and put 40 something modules on it. It's just, I think the cost savings are actually going to be quite better if you just have the unit with it built in. Um, yeah, those Pan World pumps are so loud. Yeah, so I have a little bag of Reborn that I've had for 6 months just for topping off my calcium reactor. But yeah, Reborn's pretty much impossible to get right now. So for anybody that's trying to get Reborn, um, it's pretty much impossible to get. Uh, I do dose trace elements. I have a doser for that. So I guess my statement is voided. um, I don't like dosing the major elements. Okay, is that's what I'm thinking when I say that. If you can get a calcium reactor, you're going to save a lot more money. I mean, I'm only dosing 2 milliliters of trace elements, whereas with the calcium and alkalinity consumption, I'd be probably at 70 milliliters a day with my tank. Um, yeah, Aaron, I did, not Aaron, Devin, I did buy the USB over Wi-Fi because I'm testing some stuff for the stream. I'd like to be able to do streams not in my office, and I can't get that silly thing to work. So I do have it though. Um, Brian, you all think we have 20, huh? Let me go look. Let's see. I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15, sir. 15 that have said the magic words and have asked me a question. I don't know where you're getting 21 guys. Yeah, we might have had 20 people in the stream, but they didn't enter the contest. So, and of course, in order to win, you have to stay, which unfortunately, both weeks, the people didn't stay, and I had to run it twice. That's correct, Jessica. She knows the rules. Yeah, we might have hit 22 people in the stream. That's fantastic. And more people, the better. I love having more people in here. But we have to, they gotta say the magic words and ask me a question. You have 44 pounds of reborn, Brian? Everybody that needs a reborn needs to get a hold of Brian and buy some of his reborn. 44 pounds? How's it going, Brett and Scott? Welcome to the live stream. We're not really talking about much. We're kind of just hanging out. USB over Wi-Fi with Neptune. That does not work. I tried that actually. Um, you cannot put a device from Neptune that is like a one link or anything that's uh, separated from the Apex without a Aquabus cable. Works with Senai. Well, Senai, you got to have that silly little box that's like $500, which is insane. So, Brett, I've been slowly doing videos on my YouTube channel of just basic setups and basic programming. Um, but, Brett, if you're part of our automation group, which I believe you are in our Facebook group, once you get that Apex, just PM me on Facebook or on that Facebook group, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that'll help you set it up, including myself. Hell, I'll do a live stream and I'll set up yours during the live stream. That's fine. Yeah, Eric, I totally agree with you. I know Focustronic is coming out with a Mastertronic, um, which is supposed to be really good. I don't know much about it yet. Um, and as I'm sure most of you know, I do have ReefBot, which it started to work a lot better than when I first got it. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but it does seem to be getting better. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. At the beginning, and I had one of the first. Unfortunately, I had a number of problems with it, which I explained, I think, in one of my streams. But as of late, it's been working really well. So you know, I don't have much bad to say about it right now. Larry, I do not have the dissolved oxygen sensor because I am not crazy enough to spend $700 on a sensor. Aaron, it's been working okay. I mean, I did, however, decide to start using iodine on it, and it does not work. So they say it's working, but it does not work. All right, let me count these people again. Let's see where we're at. Sorry about my dogs; they make a lot of noise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 17 people on my list here. 17 people, not 20. I will show you if you don't believe me. I got 3 dogs. So here's my list for those that don't trust me. If I'm missing someone, please let me know. Maybe I can expand this a little bit. Let's see. That's what I have for you guys. So, so I have. Let's see. I got Vishla, and I have the same dog as Devin. I got a Brittany right here, and I got my Jack Russell Terrier too. Let's see. In your Facebook post, you did not say you had to. That's true, Brian. I didn't. But I make the rules, so I can tell you. The rules are actually there, Brian, so I remember who entered the contest. Um, it's just easier for me to remember. That's the whole reason I do it. Otherwise, I won't remember who was in the chat. It doesn't tell me who's in the chat, so this is how I'm able to do it. Yeah, my Jack Russell's insane, but my Jack Russell's 15, so we get commercials on this stream. Yeah, I could throw commercials. Let's see. We got a couple here. I could go to whatever you want. I don't know. This name picker is free and it's easy to do, so that's the one I've used. So we got 18. We need 2 more people. So again, for those that don't know, we're giving away 3 things. We're giving away Polyp Booster 100 milliliter. I think I've taken 2 drops out of this. I'm giving a ICP test kit and the Versa. I don't have the Versa on me. It's in my storage, but that's part of the giveaway as well. All right, fine. I'll take this out of here for you. How about that? Is that better? Aaron likes to give me a lot of crap. So I got 2 friends named Aaron. I got Aaron here in Florida, and then I got Aaron here locally. And both of these Aarons like to give me crap. I don't know what it is. I got 2 Aarons. They give me crap. Maybe it's just people with the name Aaron. But you want to know something funny? If you guys ever watch any movies or any TV shows, anybody with the name Derek is always the bad guy. I don't know why everyone with the name Derek is always the bad guy. He's either the douchebag or the bad guy or the jerk or the boyfriend that's just a complete asshole. Aaron, we don't have 21. I just showed you the list. How to use the Core 20 on an Apex. So, look at my last stream as well. I went over every single module and product that Apex Neptune makes. But the Core 20, you actually don't need to have an Apex. It's all an inclusive pump by itself. But to use it, you have to use an Aquabus cable. So you have to use power and an Aquabus cable on the Core 20. Whereas the Core 15, you just have to use the iLink. Brian, I will put that in the comments, but I will put it right here for you. Give me one moment. It's very easy to find. There you go. So, let's see. Anybody else want me to show you anything? Any questions about any products? I don't know. Like I said, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. My wife's out this evening, so I figured, what the heck, we would just hang out and give away some stuff. So, I know Devin didn't do a live stream today, so I figured I would do a live stream today. And then again, Saturday morning, we're still doing the regular live stream. And I do have some topics and I do have some stuff I'm going to show you guys. So that one will be a little more involved, you know. And I'm giving away a gift card on Saturday to Bulk Reef Supply, $50 gift card. And like I said, I have a lot of things that I'm sitting around and I'm just going to give away. So, all right, Aaron, can't do 30 things at once. How's it going? One plus F0324. What salt mix do you use, and do you auto water change? That's a really great question. I use Tropic Marin Pro Reef because it's the closest to my Trident right here. My settings on my Trident. I do actually throw some ESV alkalinity into the dosing bin to get it to 8.4. I have found that I really like the Tropic Marin Pro Reef for one specific reason, and that is it mixes super fast and it doesn't get a bunch of scum and garbage in my auto mixing container. So I really like that salt. Um, I definitely do not do auto water changes. I used to do them, and I found there was no reason to do them. If you keep and maintain a fish tank with your parameters, you keep the nutrients down. I find that the corals do a lot better instead of doing water changes. So I decided to just stop doing water changes completely. I do ICP tests. If I find something on the ICP test that happens to be abnormal, then I'll do a water change. But generally, I do not do a water change. I dose trace elements. I use Miracle Mud as well, and I have a calcium reactor. So, and I have a refugium. So pretty much everything in my tank is a self-sustaining system. There's no need to swap the water. So that's how I do it. However, on the flip side of that question, I do recommend anybody that is a new reefer to do water changes. I think in the first year of having a fish tank, water changes are a very good idea. Um, but in an established reef tank, I just don't see the need for an auto water change or water change for that matter. I think we got 20 people now. Let's see. If you didn't do a stream, who did I donate to, Devin? What? Thoughts on Aquaforest? Dan Montoya, welcome. Aquaforest in general is a very good company. They make a lot of great products. Aaron, I believe, uses the 123 for dosing. I've used for one. Do you have a sand bed or bare? I have sand on all of my tanks. I don't really like bare bottom tanks personally. I think they're more difficult to deal with. And for those that know me, know that I like everything to be easy and automatic. So having something such as a bare bottom tank requires a lot of maintenance and a lot of work on my end, and I just don't have the time for it. Sand generally it's just an easier system. You get the cycle a lot quicker. The cycle, you don't have a lot of issues with ammonia. You don't have a lot of issues with high nitrates typically with a sand. Um, Jessica, I have a Apex on my Nano, so I don't think it's overkill. I would say on a Nano, it's extremely important to know the temperature, and it's extremely important to know the salinity. That's my opinion. Anything above that is not that important. So, of course, I hooked up my main unit to my Nano and put a salinity probe and a pH probe and a temperature probe on my Nano. So I don't think it's necessarily overkill, but there are a lot of products out there, such as the Senai, such as, well, now Apex doesn't have them now, or Neptune doesn't have them, but that Neptune special that they were making, that They called it the Elmo, the EL monitor. That would be perfect for a nano. Let's see. Am I finding more female Apex users? That's a good question. I know a number of females in the hobby, um, and I have a programming friend that's a female, and she knows her stuff. She's a good programmer. So I don't know. When I go to shows, I see, I see a lot of families, so I don't know if, the wives, for instance, are interested. My wife isn't really interested in this stuff. So can you use UFOs to strip rock leaching phosphate, then dose phosphate? What's it? UFOs? I'm assuming you mean GFO, because there's no aliens in my tank. Do you run any controllers other than Apex? Yes, you can definitely use GFO to strip any rock leaching phosphate. However, um, as I have noticed in multiple tanks, that if your rocks are leaching phosphate, you're going to need a lot of GFO, and you're going to have to continuously put the GFO in there until those rocks kind of stop leaching. Um, I had that in my 100. I'm sorry, in my 300-gallon fish only tank, my phosphates were 4, and I got them down to 0.04ish. It took me a year with GFO. But yes, you can. You would probably not need to dose phosphate if your rocks are leaching phosphate. I don't have anything but Apex. You can see this is a Control Freak t-shirt that I got. Um, when you're a Control Freak, you get the t-shirt, so that's kind of cool. I got a couple Neptune shirts actually. I have run a Senai. I actually have a Senai that I might be giving away. Um, I, I I can go over the Senai maybe with you guys one day, but it's not the best product. Um, so don't try yet. Yeah, we're getting to an hour already. I can't believe it. I think we have 20 people. Have anyone counted here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We need one more person. Oh, I think we have them. One plus F. I didn't put you on there. Yeah, Scott, I agree. I think that was a great deal. I actually mentioned it on the Facebook group and actually called a few people and said, "Hey, you really need to buy this." What pump is your favorite? Um, Now, are we talking about return pumps or are we talking about wave makers, Brian? Who hasn't said the magic word, by the way? I'll give you a hint. It's I love Reef Automation. Um, I really like the Ecotech Vortex. Not having wires in the tank, I think they're fantastic. They are really uh, quite pricey for what they are, but they're fantastic. I really love them. My second would be the Tunes. I like the Tunes products. I like Tunesy in general. I know Tunesy, Tunes, whatever. I think their wave makers are fantastic. Um, what's another one that I saw the other day? The Coral is the Coral Box or Reef Breeders RN1 is a fantastic pump. Again, you'd have a wire in the tank, but that RN1 is just amazing. Let me see if I could find it. I think it's the RN1. Yes, the Coral Box RN1 or whatever this one is. This thing is so ridiculous powerful, and it's very little. So Eric, I like the gyre too. I had a couple gyres in the past. The one thing I don't like about the gyres is they slow down very quickly when they start to get junk on them, and they are kind of a pain to clean. Especially since they have a cord, you got to get the cord out. You got to get the whole. You got to rip those things off, and they're usually stuck together. Um, I like the gyre. I just think they're really difficult to clean. I didn't mention the Apex Wave because the Apex Wave is a good pump. However, I think it's way too powerful. So I've had this conversation with Neptune multiple times, and I keep telling them to make smaller pumps, and maybe they will one day. I believe, really, I believe you can put one wave in a 300-gallon tank, and that's enough flow for that entire tank. That's my opinion. I think they're just super strong. I put one of those in a 50-gallon tank and had to set it to 1% because if I set it to anything higher than 1%, all the corals would fall over. So, Siraj, that is the reason that I didn't say I like the wave pump. All right, so we're getting about an hour. We definitely have 20 people now. So, everybody that's in the chat, if you don't see your name, please let me know. Hopefully, that everybody is in the chat sees their name. Um, and we're going to do this. Anybody have any further questions before we do this? Again, we're giving away three things. So, we're giving away Versa, we're giving away an ICP test, and we're giving away Polyp Lab Booster. And I ship everything USPS 2-day shipping. If you're in Canada, I will work with you with the shipping. Um, Generally, I will ask that you help me with shipping for your stuff. If you're in the United States, I'm not going to ask you to pay for anything. All right. It would be really funny if Siraj won the second Versa. I can say that right now. All right. So, are we ready to go? Like I said, anybody that is not on the list, now is your last chance to say something. I'll give you a minute while I look at all these other people that are bothering me on Facebook for no reason. Yep, it's Aaron. Who else would it be? All right, let's see. Are you ready to go? The winner is Lovely One. Lovely One, are you in the chat? We've had this problem in the past. We will give Lovely One a minute, and then we will spin again if they don't say they're here. That's how Siraj got lucky the first time. Oh, there we go. So, Lovely One, you will need to PM me on Facebook and get your address. And she left. And we'll get that shipped out probably. I'll probably get that out Friday, I would say. So, congratulations. You're going to get three things. You're going to get the ICP test. You're going to get the Polyp Lab. And like I said, a Versa. So nice. Yeah, that's why I wait about a minute. I don't, there's a delay on the stream. So, all right. Is Devin still on the stream? Because my dog looks exactly like his dog. I don't know if you guys saw my dog. We have almost the same dog. All right. So, I thank you everybody for coming. This was kind of a little bit of a surprise shock, kind of something cool to do. I will have my normal stream on Saturday morning. It's 10 a.m. Arizona time. I don't know what time that is for everyone else, but we're going to go over calcium reactors. We're going to go over dosing. We're going to go over my calcium reactor, how I program it. Um, and we're going to go over, I don't remember, we're going to go over Samsung Smart Things and how I use that with my system. And there was something else we're going to go over. I just don't remember. Um, I don't remember. Oh, absolutely. You guys are welcome. I love doing these. I love teaching you guys. I love just talking reef. Um, you got to thank Devin because Devin didn't do a live stream today. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a live stream today. So I thought this would be fun. And I'm not doing anything. So I'm just sitting around. So. So anyway, hopefully I get to see everyone on Saturday morning. We are giving away a $50 BRS gift card. You don't have to be in the United States. It's going to be emailed to you. Um, and then next week, I have something really special I'm going to be giving away. Um, some really cool stuff I have in a box in my garage. Some of it's brand new, some of it's used. Some of it's really cool stuff that I have absolutely no use for, so I'd rather give it to you guys that can use it. So, anyway, thanks for coming tonight. I wanted to be on for 30 minutes, but we ended up being an hour, so appreciate everybody, and you guys have a great evening. Talk to you later.